You are not stuck. You are correctly positioned. That is the part you are avoiding, because stuck implies injustice. It suggests something is blocking you, something external, something unfair. But positioning is different. Positioning is the outcome of alignment. Alignment between your behavior and the structure you operate in. If the outcome repeats, the structure is working, not failing. You feel friction, but the system feels consistency. That tension is not confusion, it is accuracy. You are not trapped inside a broken system. You are operating correctly inside a system that does not reward what you are doing. That is the first break, and most men never make it. You were taught to believe that effort creates movement, that more input produces more output, that persistence overrides structure. This is incomplete. Effort increases output only within the same layer. It does not change your position in the hierarchy. You can become more efficient, more skilled, more reliable, and remain in the same tier. Because the system is not evaluating effort, it is evaluating leverage. Leverage does not increase linearly, it shifts discretely, which means you can improve continuously without moving at all. This is where frustration begins, because internally you feel progress, but externally nothing changes. So you assume resistance. In reality, you are scaling inside a closed loop. Most men interpret stagnation as bad luck, or timing, or insufficient effort, rarely as structural misalignment, because that would require a different conclusion, that the system is functioning correctly, and they are not positioned to benefit from it. This is uncomfortable, because it removes the illusion of randomness. It replaces it with pattern, and patterns imply responsibility. Not moral responsibility, structural responsibility. You selected environments, you selected behaviors, you selected tolerances, and those selections placed you where you are, not once, repeatedly. Position is not assigned once, it is reinforced daily, through small, consistent alignment. That is why it feels permanent, because it is continuously rebuilt. The real problem is not that you lack ability. It is that your ability is deployed in low-leverage contexts. You are solving problems that do not compound. You are producing value that does not scale. You are operating in systems where your absence is easily absorbed. That combination creates a specific condition: stable output, low upward mobility, predictable ceiling. You feel capable of more. But capability is irrelevant without structural amplification. The system does not reward potential. It rewards positioning of output. If your output remains local, your ceiling remains local. This is not a flaw in you. It is a mismatch between capability and structural placement. This pattern extends beyond work. It appears in networks, in geography, in visibility. You remain inside circles that mirror your current position. You consume information that reinforces your current model. You avoid environments that destabilize your identity. This creates a closed system. Predictable inputs, predictable outputs, no structural shift. You interpret this as consistency. The system interprets it as containment, because nothing new enters, no new pressure, no new reference points, no new asymmetry. Without asymmetry, there is no re-ranking, only refinement. And refinement without exposure does not elevate, it stabilizes. There is another layer. You optimize for comfort signals that are invisible in the hierarchy. Stability, predictability, low volatility. These feel intelligent, they feel responsible. But structurally, they reduce variance. And variance is required for upward movement. High-leverage environments are unstable. They contain uncertainty. They require exposure. Most men avoid this, not consciously, systematically. They select safer options repeatedly, and safety accumulates, not as protection, as constraint. You become highly optimized for environments that do not promote you, which means you perform well and remain in place. Hierarchy is not built on fairness. It is built on distribution of control. Control over resources, control over attention, control over decision-making. These are not evenly accessible. They cluster, and position determines proximity to them. If you are far from control, your effort feeds someone else's leverage. If you are close, your output compounds. This is why two men with equal skill experience completely different trajectories. One is positioned near distribution. The other is positioned near execution. Execution scales slowly. Distribution scales exponentially. The system does not explain this. It simply reflects it, continuously. Scarcity is another axis. Not artificial scarcity, functional scarcity. If your role is easily replicated, your position is compressible. If your output is common, your negotiating power is limited. You can increase quality. But if substitutes remain abundant, price and status remain capped. Scarcity is not about being better. It is about being less replaceable. And replaceability is determined by context, not intention. You can work for years to refine a skill that the system has already commoditized. At that point, improvement does not elevate you. It stabilizes your replacement cycle. If nothing changes, the trajectory remains intact. Your income grows incrementally. Your responsibilities expand proportionally. Your dependency increases quietly. You feel busier, not freer. You gain experience, not leverage. Over time, this creates a compression effect. Higher effort, lower relative mobility, more pressure, less optionality. You begin to interpret this as adulthood, as reality, as the natural outcome. It is not. It is the logical continuation of your current positioning, and without structural change, it will persist. Predictably, not dramatically, quietly. Repositioning is not a motivational act. It is an architectural one. It requires changing where your output connects, not just how you produce it. You move toward environments where leverage exists, where distribution matters, where scarcity can be constructed. You reduce dependency on linear exchange. You increase proximity to control layers. This is not fast. It is deliberate. And initially, it feels inefficient because early signals are weak. But the structure changes underneath, and once alignment improves, the system responds differently. Not because you changed internally, because you changed position. And position is what the hierarchy reads. Ne ilyen hosszú, csak kétszer hosszabb, mint amit először adtál. You are not stuck. You are correctly positioned. Your outcomes are not random. They are consistent, aligned with your environment, aligned with your leverage, aligned with your visibility. The system is not blocking you. It is reflecting you. Effort did not fail you. It reinforced your position. It made you more efficient inside a structure that does not elevate you. So you improved, but you did not move. That is the tension you feel. Internal progress, external stagnation. This is not bad luck. It is structural alignment. You are solving problems that do not scale. You are producing value that does not compound. You are operating where your absence is easily replaced. That combination creates stability, and stability becomes a ceiling. If nothing changes, nothing breaks. Nothing improves. It continues, quietly, predictably. Position determines outcome, not effort, not intention. Position. And position can change, but only when you stop explaining your situation and start mapping it.